Hello beautiful souls, and welcome back to another truth video. We're here for another tarot reading, and the last few times I've done readings it's been like, well, nothing's been going on, and oh my god, has everything switched around now? So we've got heaps and heaps and heaps going on. I've had to narrow it down because I do want to have a look at this Trump and Biden and this election you've got coming up in the US. It's hit the fan again because of these indictments and impeachments on Donald Trump. But I do want to say, because I was asked, oh, and I've also been asked to look at Billie Eilish as well. And I do also want to have a quick look at J.K. Rowling. But first I want to look at this Trump and Biden thing, because just before I do, before we get into that, I do want to say that I know you all probably know, but I was kind of posed this question that why, as a spiritual person, as someone who's into spiritual awakening, alignment and ascension, looking into the truth of why you're using the cards to do it. And I do want to say that they're all the same thing. I know you all probably know this, and I've probably said this before, but this moving into the golden age, moving into spiritual alignment, galactic alignment and awakening can only happen once the lower vibrational entities and energies on earth have been removed, because the lower vibrational entities and energies are what's been keeping us in the contrast, which is what we wanted. It's what we came here to experience not being us. But now we're approaching the golden age, and if you're really not sure what I'm talking about here, just let me know in the comments below. I am going to finish my starseed history, which does explain it all. I've not really finished that yet. I've not really had time to, because I've been working on my alignment, ascension and awakening bundle, which has now got 2 videos on and a booklet as well, which I'm quite proud of, and we're still going. It's always being added to. I'm always going to be adding to it, but it's all part of the same thing. The reason that it's happening now, obviously, is because of our galactic alignment and our distance from or proximity to, should I say, galactic centre. And like I say, I'm sure you already know all this, why this truther stuff is part of the spiritual awakening. And obviously I'm certainly not the only one to be saying this, but right, so the big thing is all hinging on Trump, isn't it? Now, and these indictments and these impeachments and this 2024 election. So you in the US have got an election next year, and I know we're all centering on the US. Obviously it's happening everywhere, but Trump is a big part of this, isn't he? Because we all a lot of it seems to be focused in the US. Now, when I was kind of catching up with what's been going on, these indictments and impeachments, now I couldn't really work out whether these were like genuine, whether these were like the last little trickles of black hats trying to kind of like get him out, or if this is all set up. And that really is what I want to be asking here. As we're coming up to the 2024 election, and kind of it's getting quite heated, I understand, over there in the US over about this, especially about the voter fraud. Is this kind of just like a white hat op, or is this actually a black hat op? Because I really couldn't kind of figure that out. If I'm going off this is absolutely a black hat op, isn't it? I mean a white hat op. This is absolutely a white hat op, isn't it? You see, when I was watching it, I was thinking, I just can't believe that there are that many black hats left in the world to be kind of doing this. And I'm not saying there are not any left. But I just got this sense that it was kind of like it was all an act. It's absolutely a white hat op. These indictments and these impeachments are a white hat op to get people to see the truth. And I did get from what I was watching, there are a lot more people waking up to this, and a lot more people kind of jumping on board with this. People that perhaps you wouldn't expect to be jumping on board with this. It seems that it's going really, really well. They're really, really happy with it. I don't think they were completely sure that it was the right thing to do or not. Obviously, it was a bit risky. Normally, a president or a prime minister or a former president or prime minister having been charged or prosecuted or whatever is going to have a detrimental rather than a positive effect. But I think the world's just beyond that now. It's beyond listening to the lies, and I do think this is absolutely worked. I think they may be wondering where to take it from here. I get the sense here as well, I'm being told out it's working better than they'd even planned it. But I do get, certainly from my own awakening and ascension and the people that I'm speaking to and communicating with, the energies are rising so fast now that it has to be, because the lower vibrational energies and entities have been removed. I'm not saying they're all gone, but in terms of Trump and Biden, I mean, we know that's not Biden. We know that, and we know that whoever that poor actor is who's playing him is very elderly and quite senile. I mean, I've done readings on this before. That's absolutely not Biden. As far as I know, he's been gone for processing a long time ago, along with his son. But the actor who's playing him is quite old and quite senile and quite decrepit. And I get that they're playing on that quite a lot. But as far as I'm seeing here, this whole thing is set up. Yeah, absolutely. Now, I did watch... Donald Trump did an interview with Tucker Carlson that was quite interesting. It was on the night where there was supposed to be like a big debate. I know in the UK we have this before an election, there's like a debate night. I've never watched one, so I don't know what goes on. I'm not really interested in politics. It's different face, same different puppet, same puppet master, isn't it? But he had an interview with Tucker Carlson, and he said some very interesting things in that. If you get to have a look at that, look at that. I can't remember what it was, but there was several. Oh, that was it. He said he was talking about Hillary Clinton and a video about someone saying, well, don't worry if she loses because we've got our insurance. And I'm not saying for you to go and look up this video, because I watched the video and it's not the video itself, but images from the video. And I can tell you, I'm not ashamed to say it gave me nightmares. And I don't want to go touching any lower vibrational stuff like that anymore. I really don't. I'm sure you can imagine what it's about. It was about a young 14-year-old girl. I'm not... If you want to go and look up for it, if you're feeling brave, go and do it. But I'm not recommending that you do, because honestly, it's quite horrific. So that was the thing he actually brought up in there, that he said, he mentioned Hillary Clinton and the insurance. That was quite interesting. Let's just have a quick look at this interview with Tucker Carlson, because I've seen lots of stuff Tucker Carlson's done. I've not seen everything. I'm not like an expert on him. I'm not like a huge fan, but I connect him with his honesty about why he's doing this and what he's doing, and I do get that he's coming from a good place, and there you go. There you go. It may have caused him problems to do this, but he would have had interactions the same as Donald Trump. He would have had interactions with the black hats. Yeah. But then I got this as well, and I'll go into this when I'm looking at Billie Eilish as well, that it's not always so clear cut and dried, is it? In terms of this interview, I'm not really kind of getting anything here. It's all pretty clear cut what we were seeing, really, I guess. I think maybe he probably asked if he could get involved with this a little bit more. The funny thing is we've got 2 black hat cards here. Let's see, this is in the best course of action, this is in the outcome. Oh, he wants to see just they did something to him. Well, they would have done, wouldn't they, because they do something to everybody, don't they? But they did something to personally attack him, and he wanted to step up, so he asked if he could get involved. That's what I'm getting here. Tucker Carlson asked to get more involved, and he was really happy with the results, that he trusted that he should ask. But I get he wants to bring these black cats down as much as possible. Yeah, I can understand that. Right, the other thing was, people were talking about the fact that we are going to have another lockdown. It's one of their tactics, isn't it, for distracting people, because lots of people seem to be getting really concerned about it, that we're going to have another lockdown. So, I've just been told it's one of the plans. We knew it would have been a plan initially. Let's just have a look whether it's likely or not. Could go either way. Could go either way right now. I think it's better if we do have one, is what they're saying. Because I think a lot of people won't stand for it anymore. Won't stand for it this time. That's certainly the message, actually thinking about it. That's certainly the message I've been getting as I've been kind of looking into like what's going on in the world, that people are just not going to stand for it this time. I think it's not a definite yet. There's too many cards here. They don't want to bring the energy back down, because, but I don't think it will actually. I think if they do, it won't bring the energy back down. I think it will bring out people's fight and retaliate. Draw people together, and people will say no. They will say no. There are people who do it. But it's not decided yet. It's not decided whether that's going to happen or not. But if we do go into another lockdown, they've just said it won't be for very long. It won't be as long as last time. They're giving me a month here. The very longest it'll be, if they do decide to do it, the longest it's going to be is a month. But if you are not wanting another lockdown, if you're one of those people who it did harm, let go of your judgments about it, because it's all for the best. This could really turn things around, because I think people are ready this time. I think the first time nobody really knew what was going on, did we? It was kind of like, I don't know what to do, because this has kind of never happened before. It certainly never happened in the UK, not during my lifetime anyway. But I think everyone's prepared this time, and I think a lot of people are just going to say no. I don't think so. I don't think we're doing that. But it's not decided. It's not definite yet, which is quite interesting. I wonder if they'll tell us what's likely to happen in this next election. I'm getting a lot that they're going to get Trump to actually win this time, but let's see. I mean, I'm not a political strategist, obviously. I don't know what's the best way to go. I wonder if they'll tell us that. What's the most likely outcome for this next 2024 election? Is it going to be Trump, or is it going to be someone else? I'm with you. Okay, this is obviously, this is the black hats here, and there are a few. I did get that Trump was hinting at this during his interview. There are still some black hats left in the political arena, like real alive ones, not just actors or clones or whatever, but real live ones. I get that black hats are not so easy to spot, are they? I know a lot of black hats are obvious, but some may have said they're coming over when they're not. They're not so easy to spot, and I get that this is them flushing them out. Who's on whose side? I'm not getting it's as clear cut as, oh no, they're all gone and this is all staged. There are some left, and I get that this is them flushing them out. The most likely outcome, what I'm getting now, the most likely outcome is that it will be Trump. But that's not set in stone. I get that I did get this before actually. I get that they want to see what the actual polls bring back. I get that they want to see how people are thinking and feeling about all of this and how awake they are. And that will be expressed in the polls, won't it? How many people are voting for Trump? How many people? I presume in Biden, they're not going to put Biden forward again. Oh, they might. I don't know. I don't know how it works in the US political system. If you know and you want to let me know, please do. Please leave me a comment below. I think if there's any doubt into who's going to win, I think they're going to wait and see how the actual polls turn out. Because obviously they're not going to let a black hat in, and there are black hats still in the political arena from what I can see now, currently, that they may not be too sure about either way. Right, there's lots of stuff I wanted to look at actually, but I'm going to narrow it down because I do tend to try and do too much. What I'm going to do this time is I'm just going to be looking at, I was asked to look at Billie Eilish, and now this was absolutely fascinating when I looked into her. She was apparently, if you don't know, I'm sure lots of people know more about Billie Eilish than me, but she was born to actors, and her brother was an actor. I don't think they're very, very famous, but there's lots, apparently there's lots of conspiracy theories, they call them, don't they, about her being a black hat. They've commented that her eyes have got darker, and also they are, a lot of the theories about her are about the songs that she's done and the videos that she's done. She did the one eye sign in a glass box, walking around like a zombie. Now in one of them she drinks a dark liquid and then starts gagging and crying a black liquid, which obviously is about, you know, the chrome that's adrena. So I get that she's, but then a lot of her songs apparently are saying that she sold her soul to the devil or something, and she just seemed to be exposing that a lot, and her unhappiness in that, because clearly she wasn't joyfully drinking the dark liquid and then enjoying it. You know, she was making a statement. I believe, I could be wrong, we're going to lay the cards in a minute, but it did look to me like, okay, so she'd taken a wrong turn and she was wanting to get out of it. But let's see what Spirit has to say about that. Right, well, I'm not seeing any white hats in here. I get that what I've kind of felt was going on is right. She had a choice. She took the king's silver, or whatever it was, you know, the 20 pieces of silver, is it in the Bible or something, I don't know. She opted in, but she was lied to. She didn't know what she was getting into, and very, very quickly wanted to get out. very quickly understood the situation that she'd got herself into. I'm not seeing any white hats in here assisting her, but I'm at the same time, let me just check something here. At the same time, I'm not really seeing any kind of punishment or threat. Okay, so she didn't have to turn herself over. The white hats stepped in and released her from that, and I get they kind of understood from the way that she was, or they allowed her to become, not directly but it seems indirectly, which is why it's so confusing, that she did what she did. Because thinking about it, the black hats probably wouldn't have allowed her to make a video like that. So it could be that although she didn't directly step into that, it could be that they understood that she wanted out quite quickly, and somehow allowed her to do that without having to go through the full punishment, if you understand that. I hope that's answered your question about Billie Eilish. I'll try and sum it up. That was quite a complicated answer, wasn't it? Yes, she did. So she knew what they were doing, and yes, all the stuff in the video is, and the videos and the songs are her expressing dissatisfaction with what the situation that she'd got herself into, but she'd already sold her soul to the devil, and she couldn't get out of that. But their white hat stepped in and got her out of it quite quickly, not directly but indirectly. I wonder whether they got rid of the people who are in charge of her, or owner or controller or whatever, and I get that it was during the time when she was making the videos, and I think they were quite a while ago. I think they may have been, was it 4 years, someone was saying? I don't know, I'm not absolutely sure. If you know, just let me know in the comments below. Yes, she was a black hat, yes, the videos are about, and the songs are about that, but she wanted out straight away, but she couldn't get out, but then the white hat stepped in and got her out. And I don't believe that there's going to be any kind of punishment or retribution directed towards her, because I think that she wasn't asked. I don't get she was asked to do the videos or the songs. She did them on she did them on her own. So anything that white hats would have asked her to do, she did automatically anyway, or she just did them, and then they were quite happy with the results and quite happy with the fact that it's exposing things a little bit more, and the work that she did was counteracting any lower vibrational energy or actions that she'd actually took. Wow, that was absolutely fascinating. When I was watching it, I was like, wow, this is a lot more complicated than I think. But I did get that she was exposing that, and I did wonder, well, why then are the black hats allowing her to do this? Is this another one of those, oh, we have to tell people what it is we're doing, because then we won't get karma, which is absolute BS, because they do. They get exactly the energy they put out comes back to them. Right, I'm going to actually leave it there. I'm going to leave these other ones. I wanted to look at the Barbie movie as well, and I wanted to look into J.K. Rowling, but I don't think we've got time now. So I'm just going to pull a few cards just to see what other messages we get, although it's usually the same thing. Okay. Quite simple and obvious message here. Whatever happens, whatever they're saying, whatever we're looking at that looks like it's a black hat op, it's not. There's only a few left, and they're not really effective to do anything now. let go of your judgments. Whatever happens, even if we do go into lockdown again, it's a white hat up. Yeah, this is anything that happens is either to wake people up or to flush out the last few black hats. I know there's still a lot going on in the Ukraine, isn't there? Although I get that that's nearly over now. So, but particularly in the US and the UK and the Canada, anywhere you are, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, anywhere you are, I get that they're pretty much flushed out now. Yeah, there's going to be the odd one or two, but not enough to cause any damage. But whatever happens, don't get dragged into the lower vibrational energies. Let go of your judgments here. And also, also make sure that you're not holding any lower vibrational energies towards the black hats. It's vital that we keep the energy as high as possible right now. This whole thing was an agreement. We agreed to come here. We agreed to experience the contrast. I know what they've done is probably darker than anything that we could have imagined, but at the end of the day, they've kept the planet at this level of physicality so that we can experience this, because obviously we're like corks underwater, aren't we? If someone's not holding us down, we will bob back to the surface and become who we are naturally, which is source, which is spirit. We wanted to come here to experience this. Please don't forget that. And now we get the, I always say this, we get the delicious, delightful part of being awakened in a world of contrast. And finding the joy, absolute joy in that, in knowing who we are, but still having the experience of physical reality. But we can only do that if we let go of our low vibrational energies. Right, I'm going to leave it there, lovely people. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate you being here. Please do the YouTubey things. Please like, share, subscribe, comment. If you like this video, I really do appreciate it. I've had such fun. This has been so interesting. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope to see you in another video. Thanks for joining me. Bye.